Hello everyone. Review of the broadcast schedule for March 26th. Chart. Let's take it from Binance, Ethereum, and from DT. Let's start with the time frame. 1. Wake. Here, in my opinion, a large triangle is beginning to form, which will give us the opportunity to trade within the formed ranges. Let's note the boundaries. The lower boundary at the moment is not yet precise, meaning we have a price reaction. Of course, we can set it at the level for now, but later we might redraw it. It might be slightly lower. The main thing is not to break this minimum. Accordingly, it can be for us like this, as we have now built it slightly lower. Like this, yes, and like this, but the most important thing is not to break the minimum. I would also like to note the global level of support and resistance. Let's highlight this zone as well. The level of the zone 1439 to 4444. Zone 1439 will be our global support zone. And the zone 43713933 will be our resistance. Being within this range and forming and narrowing, this can happen for quite a long time, as the time frame is weekly. We can easily trade within this range until the new year. That is, it will look like this, for example. Then it will eventually break out in one direction or another. It's too early to talk about this yet, as the range hasn't even formed, so we will go to lower time frames and see what we can trade while being inside this range. On the daily time frame, I would like to highlight less significant levels of resistance and support, which will help us open positions. First of all, I would like to note we see how during the rise after the breakout, a new resistance zone formed in our resistance area. We bounced off it, tested it twice. After breaking through, we consolidated, and the price stayed above it. Here there were false breakouts. After consolidating below it, the price started to fall. Upon returning to this level, we had an immediate reaction to this level. And after breaking through and consolidating above the level again, we once more moved above it, reaching our global resistance level. We will also note another level. Which will be located at the marks. We also see just how the price interacted with this. Upon return during the retest, we had a buyer here. Accordingly, the seller's investment could not satisfy all his needs, and the price bounced off this level each time. After the seller became stronger than the buyer at this level, we fell below this level and tested it several times. To test Then we returned to it once more again, bounced off it again, failed again, tested it, and failed again. This range, which is of most interest to us right now, this particular range, currently, because we have the possibility that this breakout is false. Upon returning and consolidating above the level, we can confidently look for long positions for trading within the recognized range. We have a clear 100. Under the level, we have clearly 3 profit, based on clear signals, from patterns, and balances. Anything you want, anything you understand, anything you know, where you can distinguish, where you can set a stop loss point and take profit. Accordingly, you can work in this regard. Another thing worth noting is moving even lower on the time frame. If we go to approximately 4 hours, we can clearly and distinctly notice the formation of a wedge in the chart. The wedge, in any case, since we are ascending, it should break downwards. The question is this the end of the correction? And after this, we will continue our decline? Or is it, on the contrary, the beginning of a correction? Only after we finish forming it, we will correct, or on the contrary, draw another wave. The growth, which will interest us in terms of a return to the level. Accordingly, if the deformation of the wedge and the price decline, we see a zigzag here, an engulfing pattern. We can calmly look for entry points into longs, in roughly this manner. If after the formation, or if we get a breakout movement, this minimum would not be left without trades. But once again, we can of course work with the wedge itself. But we need to carefully consider the potential risks, calculate the profit with mining, and it can be approached in this way. The fact that the wedge breakout movement beyond the level and the base is skewed, we will have it in this manner. We can definitely attempt without any problems, working not just on the breakout. Once again, the picture. Chip likes the ascending one. Let's also look at the price chart. On the price chart, we will be interested in price gaps. Gap, as we have here, we have here, and most likely accidentally. In our case, we are interested in the 2 nearest ones. Accordingly, if we, as we assume and prioritize the scenario for growth, looking for entry points for growth, then the current chart shows that most likely these gaps will be closed. Not necessarily all, but the nearest one like this. These should be closed. And here we have prices of 2600 and 2500, which is essentially necessary to reach to the upper level of the range we have set. Accordingly, as I already mentioned, let's summarize. Our priority scenario will be to look for long positions to trade within the range, but we will also not forget that we might have a false breakout. Return, another retest of the range, and we can work well up to the global level, which is located below us. We can also work short term. Within the day, I work the wedge. On the breakout, trading inside the wedge is not allowed. We only worked on the breakout, and it's essential to set a stop loss. Basically, that's all I wanted to say. Good luck and profit to everyone.